I guess I'm looking.
And any of you people that still want to listen to that fucking cocksucker down in Texas, you better understand exactly what you're buying into whenever you go down that road.
And everybody should be a part of the John Birch Society, or at least get their materials, because they're the best you're going to find anywhere.
I guess I'm looking.
I mean, one of the arguments that Charles Koch makes in the op-ed is that, you know, he tried to get out their message about liberty and freedom just through education, but we're sort of forced into going into the political process over the last few years, I guess because collectivists bullied them into it. What do you make of that?
If you were wondering whether or not the two Koch brothers had learned enough from their father, who was a chartered member of the John Birch Society, you can wonder no more, because that entire paragraph comes straight out of the old Bircher literature in the 1950s and the 1960s. It's just updated now on the fortune they were handed when they were born.
All this sounds really great what the Koch brothers are doing.
People are very much unaware of the front groups, unaware of how their thoughts are being manipulated and how their actions are actually being manipulated.
Koch brothers recently wrapped up their annual Big Money Summit, where they met with corporate leaders, lawmakers, and other billionaire conservatives. Their plan is to buy what's left of our democracy.
So it's not Koch brothers good guys, everybody else bad guys. It's just that I've been constantly accused of working for the Koch brothers with no evidence. And then so I go and I think, I say, well, let me really research the Koch brothers. And so it becomes kind of a little pet project as I do in research. And I discover that they're anti-Agenda 21. They have, quote, secret meetings with conservative leaders. And they sneak out the audio, and it's, how do we defend the Second Amendment? How do we defend the family? How do we keep America competitive? How do we reverse offshore?
If I can finish what I'm saying, I noticed that your organization, Cato, wrote a really interesting report. I have it right here, where you say the key to our economy is to outsource jobs, outsource jobs, outsource jobs. Now, that might be what the Republicans believe. That might be what the U.S. Chamber of Commerce. Do you know Daniel Griswold? Yes, you do, because he wrote the report. Of course. Well, I have the report right here where you say the way to solve our economic problems is to send jobs to India and Saipan. So that's what you have to live with.
The trade deficit sounds bad. Every time a news reporter talks about the trade deficit rising, there's a collective groan. Oh, no, it's bad. Or if it falls, we say, whoa, that's really good news. It sounds like we're losing something. It sounds like something must be repaid. And it's one that I'm sorry to say is shared by more than a few economists who don't think seriously about trade. Actually, a lot of economists don't think seriously about economics. I think this view is completely backwards. A trade deficit never, ever, ever is a cause of economic harm. It always improves the economy.
The Koch brothers have funded a lot of anti-union, anti-worker legislation, not just here in Wisconsin, but across the country. And so people in Wisconsin are here to say that, Walker needs to get over his coke addiction and to really respect workers' rights to organize.
I think this view is completely backwards. A trade deficit never, ever, ever is a cause of economic harm. It always improves the economy.
How do we keep America competitive? They've got Bernie Sanders, the socialist.
What the Koch brothers said in 1980, and I believe it is their view today, quote, "We support repeal of all laws which impede the ability of any person to find employment, such as minimum wage laws." Their debate is we should repeal the concept of the minimum wage. And what does that mean in real terms? It means that in high unemployment areas in this country, where workers are desperate for jobs, if an employer says, "I'm going to give you $3 an hour," and you say, "I can't live on $3," the employer says, "Well, I got 20 other people who are prepared to take that job." That's their goal. That's their goal. They do not believe the federal government should be involved in providing at least a minimum wage.
You got the Koch brothers that funded Bill Clinton and the Republicans. But those are the classic boogeymen. It's not that I'm saying they're good. It's just that that's all you ever hear about. What about the Rockefellers? What about the Rothschilds that control trillions? What about the Rockefellers? What about the Rothschilds that control trillions?
That is the perfect example of why Alex Jones is so dangerous. He takes people who have legitimate concerns that we're getting screwed over by the very wealthy who have aligned interests and gives them some type of rubber ducky toy to play with that is all about conspiracies and Bilderbergers and people talking to owls in the woods. That's the real truth is over here. Play with your diddle. Let me play with my diddle thing over here. Pay no attention to the guys who are putting $1 billion into American politics.
My reaction is God bless the Koch brothers. They're fighting for our freedom.
The Koch brothers, from what I've read of these meetings, put out a lot of really good information. All this sounds really great what the Koch brothers are doing.
They said that. Alex Jones is a cognitive infiltration machine for the far-right demagogy of people like the fucking Koch brothers, who would like to see you laying in the street dead so that they can ride over you in their fucking stretch goddamn limo, packing their fucking pockets filled with fucking gold coins and wads of fucking money. And take every fucking economic right that you have, destroy it, and somehow twist it all around so they get all the benefits from it. But that's okay by Alex Jones. Perfectly all right. Koch brothers are just doing what they can to try to preserve their itty-bitty wealth of tens of fucking billions of fucking dollars. I feel so sorry for them. Fuck you, Alex Jones. Fuck you, Koch brothers. And fuck everything that you're trying to do, because everything you're trying to do is destroying lives, destroying families, destroying people in every possible fucking way by taking away everything that they have.
And I don't enjoy going after people that are attacking me. I'm forced to do it sometimes.
I guess I'm looking.